Today, I am going to be making mock chicken patties. These are beef patties that are cooked in a chicken and rice soup. This recipe originally came from my great-grandmother, who cut it out of a newspaper, and the recipe has been passed down in my family ever since. I have taken it, tweaked it a little bit to make it my own. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started, we are going to make the chicken and rice soup first. Now, the original recipe did call for just canned chicken and rice soup, but I found that that didn't go as far, wasn't as tasty. I prefer making it by hand, and it's really not that difficult. So for that, we will need a pound of chicken thighs. You will boil 4 cups of water, and to that you will add some kind of chicken bouillon. I have broth-based chicken. This will add more flavoring and seasoning to your food. If I do chicken bouillon cubes, I do just 4 cubes. For this base chicken broth, the directions call for 2 teaspoons for every 1 cup of water. So I will do 8 teaspoons of this. And then you will also make some rice to go with it. You will need 2 cups of rice. I'm going to use basmati rice. You can use any kind of rice you prefer. I have done instant rice in the past. That's been really easy. Whatever choice of rice you want to do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut up the chicken. If you have some, use gloves. It makes the process a whole lot easier. And I just like to cut these up into small bite-sized pieces, especially since I have little kids and it's a whole lot easier to just cut it up into bite-sized pieces now instead of having to help them cut their food later when they're eating. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my pan to about medium-high, let that warm up before I add the chicken to that. And while it's warming up, I will go ahead and get the rice started. I have an Instant Pot, so it's going to be a 1 to 1.5 cup ratio of rice to water. So 1 cup rice, 1.5 cups water. I'm going to do 2 cups of rice, so then I will need 3 cups of water. I'm going to put that in my Instant Pot, hit the rice setting, let that do its thing while we cook up the chicken. Okay, my pan is warmed up at medium-high heat, and I am going to add the chicken. All right, once the chicken is thoroughly cooked and there's no more pink spots, and I'm going to turn off the heat for this. I'm just going to set the chicken aside and get the water boiling for the soup. I'm going to get a big pan and pour in 4 cups of water. Turn on my burner again to high and let that cover so that it'll boil faster. And we'll come back when the water's boiling. All right, now the water is boiling. We are going to add the chicken base. Once again, I'm using broth-based chicken. The directions are 2 teaspoons for every 1 cup of water. I have 4 cups of water, so I'm going to do 8 teaspoons. My math is correct this time. Now, I did just find out that this particular chicken base is less salty than regular chicken bouillon. So if you're using regular chicken bouillon or chicken bouillon cubes, be sure to follow the directions on that one. Give that a stir. I'll turn this down a bit. actually going to take a careful little taste test just to make sure I put enough in. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now I'm going to add the chicken back into the broth. And I'm also going to add in the little bit of liquid, pot holder, a little bit of liquid from the chicken just to add in a little bit more chicken flavor. There's not much, but no need for it to go to waste. And then just give that a stir. I'm going to turn off the heat and just leave it alone for now. My rice is not done yet, and I don't like to add the rice in to the soup until I'm ready to dish it out so that the rice isn't soaking up too much of the broth and it doesn't go into the actual patty mixture. So then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off my cutting board and get it ready to prepare the beef patties. Okay, next step is to make up the beef patties. For this you are going to need 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 cup of breadcrumbs. This is actually the first time that I'm using store-bought breadcrumbs, and I'm trying the Italian style this time. Usually I just take 4 slices of bread, crumble them up myself, and put them in. Do whichever you prefer. 2 cups of milk, and then salt, pepper, and celery salt to taste. The recipe says to taste. Obviously you cannot taste raw meat, so do it to look, do it to if you can smell the aroma of it mixed in the meat. You'll probably want to use a little bit more than you think. I always tend to season less than I should, but you will get more flavoring with the chicken and rice soup as well, and you can always add more seasoning at the end when you're eating if your meat is a little under-seasoned. It's not going to be a big deal. You can also do other seasonings if you want. It's completely up to you. Okay, so now I have transferred my ground beef into a very large bowl, and I'm going to go ahead by putting in the dry ingredients first. You can really do these in any order you wish. You just combine all of them. So I'm going to do 1 cup of breadcrumbs. My 1 cup measuring cup is in the dishwasher, so I'm going to do 2 half cups. And then again, decent amount of salt and pepper and celery salt. And then I will do 2 cups of milk. And once again, if you have them, use gloves while you mix it up because that's going to make it a whole lot easier. All right, and then just mix it all up. Mix until it all comes together. And it is much easier to mix this by hand than to use utensils. All right, that should be good. Okay, at this point we are going to assemble our beginning part of our chicken and rice and patty mixture. Go ahead and turn your oven on to 350 degrees or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And after we put this together, we'll put it in for 30 minutes. We'll take it out, turn the patties over, turn down the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and put it in for another 30 minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the soup mixture into the bottom just to coat it. We're going to start with 1 pan. I have a 9 by 13 size pan. This usually takes 2 pans. So we're going to start with this one, fill it up with the beef patties, and then I'll get out another pan and fill that one up until all the meat is used up. That's good for the soup. Here's our meat mixture. I'm going to use 2 regular sized spoons. They're the bigger size, but the spoons you eat with. I'm just going to use 2 of these spoons. Something about like that. You can make them a little bigger, you can make them a little smaller, however you like your meat patties to be. And then we're just going to put them on top of the soup mixture. Do about 3 per row. Mine are not going to be uniform because that takes too much effort for just a family meal. So some will be a little bigger and some will be a little smaller, but they will all taste great. This is another 9x13 pan. Usually I use 2 in the next size down. I do not remember what that size is, but I only seem to have one of those size pans right now, so I'm just going to do it in a bigger pan. Now make sure, I'm going to do a little bit less of the soup mixture on the bottom. Make sure you keep enough soup mixture because you're going to put that on top when you turn the patties over. So you don't want to put all of the soup in right now. So there are both pans of patties ready to go. My oven has come up to temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to put them in the oven, uncovered, for 30 minutes, and then I'll take them back out. All right, now the beef patties are out of the oven. I have turned down the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and now I'm going to turn over the patties. They look and smell amazing already. All right, now grab the rest of your soup mixture and spoon it over the top. This actually made a bit more rice than I normally make, so if you want to cut down the amount of rice a little bit, you can, but I think this is going to work out really well. Each patty will have a good amount of chicken rice mixture to go with it. All right, and now I'm going to put these back in the oven, uncovered, for another 30 minutes. And again, I have turned my oven down to 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
So I'm super excited about this because this is easily like my favorite thing that my bride makes. And the thing about this is that it sounds really odd being called mock chicken patties. It's like you think, oh, why don't you just eat chicken? But no, it's something special. I mean, it must be something that they came up with like during the Great Depression or whatever. I don't know, but oh man, every time she makes this, I'm so excited, and so let's try this. That's definitely the stuff. I like the fact that we used real rice this time, because we've always used minute rice for making the chicken rice soup, and the Italian breadcrumbs definitely give it more flavor than the typical like chunks of bread that we use all the time. But man, this is fantastic. Definitely make this. I know it sounds weird. It sounds like something that you wouldn't be interested in, but it's so good. Trust me, it's worth making. All right, now the cook gets to try her food.
That is good.
Please leave a like if you liked this video, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends, and stay tuned for more recipes that, while not necessarily authentic, are always delicious.
Rant. Just mix until